Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you are doing well. Today I will be talking about manhwa and webtoons where the female lead is a maid. But before we begin with the video, make sure to subscribe and like the video. So let's begin our list. Coming at number 1, we have the Devilish Duke Can't Sleep. Duke Kyle Luev was an unlucky duke who cannot keep any servant by his side because of the devilish nature that charms men and women of all ages. But when he meets Lena, a maid, there were no positive emotions in Lena's eyes except worry and fear. It was the moment when the law of even the gods will fall in love on his smile faded away. There is a sensible and warm female lead who, despite her tough childhood, maintains her cheery optimism and good attitude. I normally really dislike super happy saint-like shoujo protagonists, but I quite liked Lena's sweet way of dealing with life and people. The male lead is actually not the typical CEO-like misophobic duke. He does see people in a darker light than most, but he is not unwilling to understand, nor is he ever really mean to the female lead. He is a classic example of a nice person, skewed by his terrible circumstances, having to build up wall after wall to stop himself and other people from getting hurt. It's adorable reading about the female lead and male lead warming up to each other and learning to trust each other. They both are innocent and are a bit naive in their own ways, which creates plenty of funny scenes, somehow refreshing, charming, and incredibly sweet despite the tired genre and initial cliches. Coming at number 2, we have a capable maid. Morina was the last of her kingdom's royal bloodline. After her kingdom gets attacked, she disguises as Mary to serve the victorious empire as a maid. She was a royal who, unlike her family and the nobles, actually gave a damn about her people to the point that she went out her way to give away her own money and medicine to people who needed. Because of this, she was regarded as a mysterious saint because while they knew it was the princess, no one quite knew what she looked like. In fact, the only physical hard evidence of what she looked was a painting of her that was destroyed when the prince took over the country during the war. Since there was a corpse, nobody could find if she survived or not. Which is why the empire is still looking for her, mainly because if the emperor marries her, he will have complete control and cooperation of the former citizens of the prince's countrymen. Since she is a symbol of hope, however, if she doesn't want to marry him, he will kill her. Either way, he will have complete submission of the people. She has never been very good at anything, so when she is told to make a wish, she asks for the ability to help others and brings them happiness. Now, as visions of brilliant and skilled people fill her dreams, she has various abilities to solve any problem. The plot idea is fresh and unique. The female lead is kind and does things for the sake of others, making me strongly root for her in every situation. The male lead is misunderstood, wanting only the best for his subjects, and I am rooting for him too. The main character's reactions, actions, hesitations, and her thinking process are very well done and relatable. If you are okay with a slow build-up, then I suggest you give this manhwa a try. I really appreciate the little details the author puts in their artwork, even if it comes across as simple. Coming at number 3, we have Sincerely I Became a Duke's Maid. Leandro was stricken with a hideous curse at a young age, shunned by his family and rejected by everyone. As a supporting character in a novel, he is doomed to a role of misery and loneliness. That is until a sympathetic reader is suddenly transported into this fictional world as his lowly maid, determined to change his fate. The female lead, like in every isekai with the idea of jumping into a book, is kinda obsessed over making the plot go the way it should and doing things, planning without thinking. Her simply being there can change the entire story. But she does get over it eventually. The male lead is very cute, and yeah, although he looks very young in the beginning, their age gap is only of 4 years and he does grow up very quickly after the plot starts to evolve. The art is top notch. I absolutely love this because the main character is able to do what many of us wish to do. Watching their relationship improves warms my heart. I must say, this is one of the cutest heartwarming stories I have ever read. She is kinda naive and is extremely dense. Coming at number 4, we have I Became a Maid in a Teen Note. To pass time before surgery, Hua Yoon read a romantic novel for some steamy scenes. Little did she know this would lead to her reincarnating into the story as an insignificant maid that's executed soon after. The goal is to survive, but things get out of hand and steamy. It's funny at times and cute. I really had a lot of Millie syndromes here, but I am fine with whoever she ends up with. To some readers, this may not be their cup of tea since there's an age gap between the male leads. Plus, the female lead kinda looks like a child due to the art style, I suppose. Even though her age, I believe, is 15 years old at current chapters. The age gap between the main leads is 5 years, I guess, but I'm not sure. I actually thought I would drop this one because of the reviews from other people due to the main lead being a bit older, and after knowing what actually happened on the first timeline, how the original Lena died. But then again I realized there are actually much more worse age gaps between the main leads on other stories and even worse things that could ever happen. So I gave it a chance, and yep, I like this one. It's very unique and refreshing for a isekai and historical fantasy manhwa, and it has a lot of wholesome moments too. Coming at number 5, we have Beatrice. Having previously been a slave in her youth, Chloe was revealed to be an illegitimate child of the king of El Pasa and is raised to the level of a princess and renamed Beatrice. All in order to secure a political marriage to a Tory man, as the king was unwilling to marry his legitimate daughters to him. After 2 years of hellish marriage, the kingdom of El Pasa falls before the blade of the empire's archduke, its greatest hero. In order to survive her new enslavement, Beatrice reassumes the guise of Chloe as a slave of the empire, but then she catches the eye of that very same hero. The art was exquisite, it was amazing, everything was detailed, and the story was portrayed beautifully and comprehensively in every panel. I find the female lead's personality refreshing and fortified. The male lead may be the cold and strong type, but you will soon find a whole different world with his interior self. Both the characters have something to give and take to each other. The male lead is generic as hell, ruthless man who doesn't flinch at the sight of a corpse. Let's just cast our attention to the main characters, the girl. So this girl is extremely kind, that's basically it. She is quite funny at times and can keep calm during some situations, but there isn't any redeeming qualities that make her a great female lead. But to be honest, I really like that. Coming at number 6, we have The Detective of Mueller. Kate is a maid at the Baron's estate in Mueller, a country where warlocks and witches are shunned. One day, the new servant Ayan arrives, but he is too proper and handsome for his lowly rank. As they keep running into each other, Kate's suspicion of Ayan's disarming demeanor only grows when strange incidents crop up in the manor. I liked the chemistry between Kate and Ayan as maid and servant, but not so much now that it had developed into master-servant relationship. Mostly because it is cliched, but to be fair enough, the author is working on it in a very realistic way, showing the taboos and hardship of such a relationship, a fact often totally dismissed in other stories with similar plots. I like the drawings, they are smooth and light and kind of cute. I am pleasantly surprised by the unexpected twists and in-depth world building of this story. All the characters are well-rounded, compelling and interesting. Coming at number 7, we have The Maid and the Vampire. Ariam falls into a strange world called Soltera after a car accident in the modern world. When she is mistaken for a vampire because of her dark hair color, she is then sold by a slave trader to Duke Millard Travis, who is the one and only vampire in Soltera. Desperate to survive in any way, Ariam becomes Millard's personal servant, vowing to serve him as her master. Day by day, Ariam tries her best to serve Millard, and slowly his attitude starts to change. I think the romance happened a bit suddenly for my taste, kind of like flipping a switch between them, and the drama with the rest of the players sort of fell apart and got confusing. The romance is good, the characters, although occasionally frustratingly clueless sometimes, are adorable. Hope you guys have a good day. See ya!